On September the 7th, 1979, a band called the Buggles predicted that video would kill the radio star. 2 years later, the video that was made for the song was chosen to launch a brave new television channel called MTV, which of course went on to have a massive impact on the way we perceive music. Guildford-based VJ, director and producer Colin Arnold has been helping bands in the area to put their best face forward since 2007. I spoke with him earlier, and to begin with, I asked him how he got into the video industry.
I started off in 2001 doing a film production degree, Bachelor of Science at Staffordshire University. And then after that I worked for Royce's news agency in London, and after that I joined Flaming Pear in Guildford, and that's when I directed and edited my first feature film, which was Guildfest Grassroots. Then after that I met a fellow filmmaker called Lee Dovey, and we did a horror feature called The Fallow Field. And in August 2009 I launched my first production company called The Surgery Productions.
And tell me particularly, what does The Surgery do?
We make feature films, documentaries, music videos, promos and corporates. So we've just literally finished post-production on The Fallow Field, and we're actually shooting principal photography at the moment on a music documentary about a local band called Subsource.
Tell me, what exactly is something called an EPK, and how important is it for a band to have one of these things?
Sure, an EPK is an electronic press kit, and it's basically a promotional tool that bands can use, introducing the band, introducing the song, and really what we call a B-roll. So not necessarily the shots of the band in the music video, it would be more of shots kind of behind the scenes, interviews and things like that.
In the day, it used to be that you put together a demo, which is either dating myself now, on a cassette, nowadays submitted on a CD, more in a more whiz-bangy modern fashion on an MP3. But now these EPKs are sort of multi-platform digital promotional things. How important is it to have one of these as a band?
I think it's very important, especially today with social networking sites like Twitter and Facebook. You know, people are releasing things today on YouTube. I think music videos especially aren't really being kind of seen as much on TV. It's more kind of viral over the internet. So I think it's very, very important that bands, you know, have all the tools behind them, like the websites, like the Facebook, the Twitter accounts, and that can really gain an audience.
What kind of cost is a band looking at to put together a decent music video?
It depends, really. Personally, if it's an upcoming band, you know, possibly a couple of hundred, couple of thousand. But I would suggest, obviously, I wouldn't spend kind of £15,000-20,000 on a music video if you haven't recorded your first album. I would really think, you know, at the end of the day, you're musicians, so record that album, spend the money. But then, equally, it is very important to get the music videos and to push that as a tool out there.
One of the things that bands are often told in terms of their music is that they have to get to the point, musically speaking, within the first 45 seconds or so of the track. What's it like what is the video equivalent of that time frame?
I would say kind of the first couple of seconds. Straight away, you need to engage the audience, particularly with, like I said, virals today. You know, people on YouTube probably give it about 2 or 3 seconds when they hear the or see the opening images. So, you know, you have to be pretty quick. Whilst editing, when I'm reviewing tracks, I make my mind up, like everyone else, I think. Maybe in the first kind of 10 or 20 seconds, you know possibly which direction that song's going. So, you know, it's important. But I wouldn't ever change anything. I wouldn't deliberately edit something. I wouldn't take out a good shot just because we want to capture the audience. You know, I think that's the same with the music. If you want a guitar intro, then I would leave that in and, you know, let the right person find it.
As a video director and producer, what do you think is an absolutely key element to include in any kind of video or EPK you're putting together?
That's quite a difficult question, because I think each music track and each band are, you know, have their own uniqueness. So I would say, you know, something that's kind of true to the music, but also I think what the bands are comfortable with, because there's no point shooting a music video, you know, if it's a fictional one with a band, or a non-fictional one, a performance video, if they're not comfortable being filmed. So, you know, there's lots of different techniques. I think it's just to try and think about the location, try and think about cameras and equipment today, technology. You know, there's green screen studios can literally be set up in the back of small offices or homes. So it's really being aware of technology and you know, what you enjoy as well. Make the music video for what you like. You know, if you dig it, then hopefully other people will.
That's a Guildford-based producer and director Colin Arnold there from a production company called The Surgery. And if you want to find out a bit more about what he gets up to, then do check out his website, which is allthews.thesurgeryproductions.com. All one word, thesurgeryproductions.com.